Always the same. I mean, 330 was tough because honestly, with Felix, I would say 80% of my physical abilities, where usually you start 100 and then it goes down. When you're tired, maybe it goes down a little bit faster when it's hot. Today, I felt like right after the first set, I was at 80. But
all right, let's get more people on before I call him. There was news released on FNGR this morning. Ham met with a bunch of people last night. I don't know if I know KYP didn't join, but I know she was invited. That's too bad. I would have loved that she went. I looked like hell because Ham said, let's do it. And I haven't had a chance to shower up. Yesterday, I lost my cool and I swore at somebody. I apologize to everybody sincerely about that. I decided last night just to stop doing lives. And then I decided this morning I'm going to keep doing them. But the evilness, the bullying of these cowards who make money by selling stock that doesn't exist and then come on and question me. Screw them. But anyway, I also don't know if I'm being effective. I don't know what we're really accomplishing. We talk about the same questions over and over again. Where's my dividend? Can you believe I can't get my dividend? You know, and I don't know if we're getting anywhere. But I guess the thing is, you have to press on when everything looks like you're not getting anything done. Let me see if I can. We now have 150, so let me see if I can get Ham on. I do want to give you fingers at 236. Logic is not that matters to Ham, but it's asking 4 cents. I think they still have another meeting to go with Logic, so I thought maybe there'd be a news announcement this week. I think it'll now be later. And I know I look like I'm old and I belong in a crematorium, like one of the guys said on here. Another guy said that I look like I'm have dementia. It's all sweet stuff. Here's Ham. All right, hang on. I got you on the wrong. I got you on the wrong speaker. Darn it. Did I hang up on you? I might have hung up on him. I think I did hang up on him. Yeah. I didn't mean to hang up on you. I hit the wrong button.
Okay.
So we have almost 200 people and growing. They're dying to learn what you said, and I don't know if KYP is here.
Okay, well, she missed out on a great night. I called her out. Where are you? You know. Anyway, let's. I actually had to tell her we stopped at American Girl because my friend had to buy 2 dresses for his daughter. So I was in American Girl for a while also last night, Midtown somewhere, wherever I was, 52nd, 53rd. Anyway, you ready to go, William?
Yeah, you're not. It might just be me, but you're not as loud as you usually are. But it might be my ear.
How about now? Am I yelling?
Yeah, I guess it's all right. I'm not getting any complaints. Jennifer's here. You're Rob the Pilot's here. Vin Man.
We don't need roll call. This is about education. I just want you to give you at the pace you move. This is how Wall Street goes. And the day you watch stocks, at night you go to the bar, you figure out what everybody's doing, everybody talks, and you get all the scoop, right? So I'll start off with the ZJYL, okay? My friend owns 25,000 shares at a 110 average. The stock was trading up to 240. We were sitting at the lounge. He didn't sell a share, and we watched the bear raid just like you did, straight down. They're hearing that Interactive Brokers has a huge short position. Interactive Brokers People are trying to get their shares removed from Interactive Brokers. Big investors are trying to get their shares in a physical form. Interactive Brokers keeps blocking them. They are going, I guess they're going to seek counsel to force the issue. The only reason they can't get them the shares is that when they call the depository trust, they don't have any shares there. All right, so that's what's going on in ZJYL. My friend owns 25,000 shares. He was up 2.5 million right in front of me and didn't sell one share. And I watched the whole thing.
It's trading at 203.
Whatever it is, but he believes it's going to the moon. He's not selling it, and he said that he met with a gentleman yesterday who's one of the who is a major short seller out of Bermuda, a 60-year-old white man from Bermuda, because he didn't think he would be, he thought he'd be a young guy. And he's actually a buyer in CJYL. He likes what's going on there. So the short seller is buying that stock. I don't know who it is. And he sent me a text. Hold on a second. See if I'm going to read it to you. So the guy that I just met, who is a very well-known short, just told me that he lost millions in GTII. On the short.
Was he long or short?
Short.
Okay. Wow.
Let me see if I can find. Hold on a second. Give me 1 second. He wrote something else.
Relax, everyone.
He shorted at 2, and then it had a big run. He had to cover, but he covered between 4 and 5. So some of that was short covering up to 10. All right, so there's one short that got blown out in GTII when it ran. So for those who said that there was one short just got blown out, and admitted it to one of our biggest holders. So there
awesome.
You go. Okay, now we'll move on. So we got the ZJYL. All right, everybody understands what's going on there. Interactive Brokers, you know the whole scoop. There's not much more I can say. Good luck. I don't own it, and I'm giving you the information as I get it. Just, you look at these things, and I told Ace this. When you play the equity markets, look at it as let's say, a roulette table. There's a certain amount of red and black numbers. If the black is the long side, you just took away a lot of red boxes. So the chance of hitting black are getting better, meaning that the stock should go. You now know Interactive Brokers has a big short. You know that the people are trying to get their shares out. They're forced to squeeze to get these guys to deliver all the fake shares. So, you start taking away some of the numbers, and there's a better probability you're going to win. That's how I look at things when I start playing these things. Finger motion has checked off all the boxes, okay, and is moving at a rapid pace down that road. So soon the whole board is going to be black as far as I'm concerned in finger motion. And I'll get to that in a second. But that's how I look at these plays when you play it. I got it. The stock's manipulating. They keep coming down on it. I got it. But again, at the end of the day, I look at what are the boxes that we're checking off. If the company's checking off the boxes, it will work out. It's just a matter, I just don't know the day, and it will work out. GTII, working on the fundamentals, that's a different story. All right, so there's different ideas, different plays, but you have to check the boxes. All right, so we check the boxes on ZJYL. You guys know as much as I do. I gave you everything I know, and the people I know are not selling one share no matter what it does. You make your own decisions on what you have to do. That's your business. All right. GDC, which I do own, I asked about, same group of people. They're accumulating. They're looking to buy another 2-3 million shares. And then I hear it's going to be showtime. So I don't know where it stops, what they're doing, but they are slowly accumulating it on their terms. My friend owns a million shares at $4. He said he's staying pat. So I asked the question. That's as much as I can get from it, and you don't dig too much. All you can take is that the person that I'm talking to is actually talking to someone else, and I don't ask who, what, where. So I just take his word for it, and I stay long. So do I have the money to average down? No, I do not. I own it higher. So I'm just sitting here watching it. I'm like the Statue of Liberty, which is the worst position to be in because I can't add or do anything. I'm stuck. All right, so you got those two out of the way. Let's move it along. Now we talk about finger motion. Finger motion came out today. The board of directors approved the special dividend. Now they're waiting to give you the terms on it. And as the stock opened up, the volume started to increase rapidly, and the sell orders came in as though the building is on fire. I don't know what the company said in the press release that makes people want to run and sell it as fast as they can from 265 down. But to me, it looks like someone has a problem and is trying to do the same thing like ZJYL. Remember, they were knocking it down to 60 the other day, William, correct?
Yeah.
And they wanted people to hurry up and sell and bail out, but it turned and it ran up 130 points. Right. So the patterns are the same. The game is, people, you got to understand there's only a couple of things you can do on Wall Street. You can buy, sell, but the manipulation is.
You can stand like a statue.
You can stand like a statue like I am. But anyway, Figure Motion has announced the dividend. As far as I'm concerned, these are all positive events. The company put out the statement about their earnings. Everyone can see that it's getting better, not worse. All right. Benchmark has a $5 target on it. They never changed it. What changed? Nothing. The company got better and stronger, and $5 is their target. That's a financial report, all right, on the company. All right. They met with the company. They did the report. What's the panic to sell it down? Hurry up and sell it. The company's issuing a special dividend. Hurry up and sell it. That is the sign, just like ZJYL. So we said it the other day that I believe that the stock will have a run before the dividend, because if you're short, you don't want to be short 20 times more. So in Finger Motion, someone is short. Now they're going to be short a dividend. Maybe they're trying to hurry up and get people to bail out. Every day, the reported short is 50 to 60 something % every day. So they're not covering any shares. They're pressing their bet. They can't cover. When they cover, you get a ZJYL moment. That's what's going to happen. Just think about ZJYL in, I think it was November of 2023, which is like 100 years ago, right? November 2023. The stock was $8. Then it ran to 500. Imagine having 5,000 shares at $8 and selling it at 400. That is a life-changing situation here. You could pay off your house, pay for your college. Think about that. That's, I didn't have it, but I'm just saying this is what I expect to happen when you catch shorts. Finger Motion has presented that opportunity to me. I see it as clear as day. We know who the short is. It's tied to the toxic lenders.
Call from Mike Lucci.
And after it, I take all the names and I'm forwarding them to the FBI, Secret Service, and saying, hey, these guys are all criminals. They destroyed 130 companies. They're selling billions of shares of stock. Investors, public companies have all been destroyed. These are all criminals. Forget this unregistered toxic lender. The SEC cannot prosecute criminal. So I'm bringing it to all these other people and showing them that these guys all need to go to jail. All these guys that just go. The last guy, Adar Bey, that Mark Basile posted. I mean, 134 companies he destroyed. 134. Think about that for a second. 134 companies. That guy, Adam Long, he sold 6 billion shares. 6 billion. Did no one see anyone selling 6 billion shares in stocks? I mean, it's just, the numbers are enormous. The brokerage firms have to do some legwork. Hey, Fidelity, whoever is selling it for them, this guy's selling hundreds of millions of shares of a company, and the company may not even have that many shares available. They were all doing it before they convert. They're doing it to knock it down. That's what they do. It's the same patterns all the time, and this is what they're trying to do. And all these stocks, it's the same thing. Did I miss anything on that, William? I'm sorry.
No, you're doing great. You're level-headed, unflapped, and doing great.
Okay, I'm never going to get flapped. When you lose all your money, it's easy to lose more. It doesn't make a difference at some point, right? Anyway, during the meeting yesterday, I met with a very famous money manager, $2 billion guy, and he had a great story to tell from 2001. he purchased all the bonds in a particular company. I guess he was taking it private, you know, distressed bonds. He bought them all. Bought all of them. Goldman called him up and offered him $10 million more of the bonds. So he looked around. He said, I looked around. I know I own them all, so I bought it from him. The next day, Goldman came back again, offered him 10 million more. So he bought it. On the fourth day, he called him up and said, hey, I want you to deliver the bonds that you just sold me. They couldn't deliver them. So he had to get his lawyer involved, Goldman's lawyer, and it just so happens Goldman was his prime broker. So Goldman, as the prime broker, was trying to defraud their own client. They naked shorted the bonds to him. He demanded delivery. They couldn't do it. They said, we can't buy it back because there's no offers. He put an offer out there at $10. Remember, he just bought him at 35 cents. So it's going to be a beating. And they said they couldn't do it, and they were going back and forth. He wound up basically squashing it, unwinding the trade, and not them admitting guilt or anything like that. They just unwind. He let them off the hook because he's, you know, running $2 billion. He's not looking to whatever. They squash it, goes away. Goldman reports him to the SEC for trying to orchestrate a short squeeze. He had to spend $18 million defending himself against Goldman and the SEC.
You can't buy class like that. Loyalty and class like that.
This is a Harvard guy, brilliant guy. You know, he was a junk bond guy, brilliant, way above our level, my level anyway. We were sitting there with our mouths open. We couldn't believe it. Then we started to explain the naked short sell, and he understood it. And I was bringing his attention to the finger, and I think he's going to start buying. He likes to buy companies that have fundamentals and undervalued, so we give him the information on that. So that's a tremendous story. Then the guy tells me he has an idea he wanted to show us. He opened up his iPad, and he had a business plan for a financial crypto show. And I told the guy straight out, I don't even know the guy. I called him a rat bastard. He stole my business plan. He has my idea. Only mine was equities, and we can mix it. I wanted to do equities mixing in crypto. He wants to do all crypto. So we were going to take him to our crypto players and hopefully get it funded and do equities with him. So he's already put 10 million into the project. And
that's the difference between your plan and his. $10 million.
I had 2 sticks. I was rubbing 2 sticks together. So I said to him, I wanted to do it out of a storefront out of Palm Beach. He wanted to do the show out of New York City at a storefront. I said, God, you got my whole business plan. It's the whole thing. Then we started talking about content and how we can get it going and all that stuff. So I am bringing him down to Puerto Rico to go see all the crypto guys and see what their temperature is on that, because that is you got to get the content on the big crypto players and what's going on in the crypto market. And the crypto guys, there's, wow. I'm sure there's a circle of 200-300 of these guys that know exactly what's going on with crypto, the momentum, where it's going. From one guy that I know who's $1 billion player, he thinks the crypto's going to, 100,000. He's not even concerned about it. They sell the rips, they buy the dips, and they buy it in size, but the trend is to them is going higher. So, but that's not for me, that's for these guys. So I'm putting it all together. The gentlemen, I will get them more information on Finger. Now that the dividend's out, and I can send them the press release showing them how they're working on that. Just great ideas, and that's Wall Street for you. That's how you go out. That's how things happen.
Have you heard of Equilend? Equilend, I know this is a new story that you can't have seen yet. Equilend facilitates.
So if I knew it.
Equilend.
If I knew it, then you tell me it's a new story.
Well, it's a new news story, but it's an old company. It helps facilitate short sales. It operates NGT, a securities lending platform, which processes more than 2.4 trillion of transactions each month. It's owned by Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan. And they just got attacked. Your short has been rejected. massive stock lending firm processing over 2 trillion in transaction goes dark in cyber attack.
Where is that news?
It's on your favorite alternative news platform. It's your go-to platform. Zero Hedge. Tyler Durden.
All right, thank you. Now that's another piece of the puzzle. There you go.
KYP wishes you good morning, and she's here. And next time, KYP, you are invited to dinner with the Hot Shots in New York City.
I said it. Don't worry about it. She's hot. She's better be cleaning up with the pickleball paddle. Get ready. She's out there practicing hitting snowballs.
She knows your plan. Fatten her up on dessert so that you can beat her.
That is 100% the plan. I'll get it to be 400 pounds. There you go.
All right, EO wants me to get a little serious today, so I'm serious, EO.
What would you like me to say?
He wants me to be serious today.
We don't have a gun.
I'm very
we don't have a
serious,
badge.
EO.
If we had a gun and a badge, we would be really serious. I don't think anybody in this phone would like to get on the phone with the FBI and Secret Service. All right, everyone's always got a little dirty laundry, right? How would you like to be able to do that every day? Have to worry and go deal with these guys. And if you haven't dealt with law enforcement at this level, these are serious people. They're not like the SEC. These are serious people.
Do you remember what the reverse split was for MULN? I don't.
I don't know.
But the stock is making new lows. It's down 43 cents at 665.
What did I tell everybody? The reverse is created by the short sellers in Wall Street. It makes their short positions go away. Whatever the reverse number is, it makes their position, whatever they're short, disappear. That's what they do.
And then they can take their profit without, they can remove the profit from the prime broker or from that LLC's account without paying taxes, and they move on. Couldn't be happier.
Their position is wiped out. They get the money, the shareholders lose their money. It's just plain and simple. That's what they're doing. ZJYL is doing the opposite. They're doing a forward split. They're making it worse for the shorts and helping the longs. It's different. It's very different, and that's why I brought it to your attention. I'm not here trying to promote a company. I'm trying to show you a different angle. I don't own it. I'm trying to show you a different angle how to attack the shorts.
So apparently MULN was 100 for 1. Looking at the chart, which adjusts for splits, it's making new lows. It's at 665. I don't know that it's going to take very long that it's below $1 again, unfortunately.
Well, again, you reverse it. The stock goes up to a higher number. The shorts all. So let's say it's 50 to 1. So if you short 100 shares, 50% of your position is going to be erased, right?
Right.
And all of a sudden you say, wait a second, they're going to reverse it, and now I can sell stock at $10 instead of at 30 cents.
Right.
So you take that 50%, so let's do it again.
Yeah.
Let's get back up to 100%. That's what they do.
Is there a way to halt it in its tracks once you've done it?
What is done cannot be undone. No, it's basically you sign your own death warrant. When you see the reverse, it's over with. That's it. That's nothing. Vocal did it. Vocal did a reverse. Anybody see that?
Yeah, it's
Symbol
down.
VOCLD, like a dog. Is that it now?
Yeah.
What price is it?
Well, it's down 0.0001. It doesn't come up on
VOCD, I believe it is. Anyway, my friend who put $4 million into that company, he needs to reverse. He needs the stock to go to 15, and I saw it offered at 265. At 15, he breaks even.
The symbol is VOCD.
VOCLD.
Oh, It's not coming up for
Oh,
some reason.
what is it? Yeah, I thought it was VOCLD. I'm not sure. CRTD. I don't know. One of those symbols, whatever it was. I saw it this morning. But my friend needs $15 to break even on it. 15.
Yeah,
And what's the
it's not-
probability of that happening? Little and none. The
Yeah.
shareholders get wiped out. Everyone gets wiped out. The shorts made all their money. And the CEO just signed his death warrant right there. There you go. Now, I don't remember ever seeing companies come out of the spiral that's on board here. So I don't know where he's going. So that's whether it's him or MULN or Root, they all get
There's
destroyed.
got to be a strategy to turn it around. I can't think of it either. Maybe going private.
I don't have the energy, and I'm not in the business of doing that.
Yeah. ZJYL's 210 almost. It's 209.989.
Everyone sits here. Everyone's got caught in reverse. I learned my lesson many years ago. As soon as I see the word reverse, see you later. I don't care what I have. I'm selling it. Good luck. I don't want to hear anything.
Right.
And that's what Wall Street's created. We all know that you see the reverse. Everybody sells it. They're laughing. The company's doing a reverse. Let's drive it down. They reverse it. Everybody sells it. They do it for us. That's what they're saying.
Right.
That's what they do. They taking care of the problem for us. They'll take. You don't need to help us out. You don't have to sell your stock. We'll make the company destroy itself. The problem is in Finger Motion, the company's fully funded, has business, and now they're doing things to expose the shorts. They went after Capybara. They're going after the shorts with the dividend. Your own brokers are protecting these guys. The whole system is rigged. So you have to keep doing these tricks to try to expose it. The question is, what's next? And I won't give you that detail because I'm working on it now.
209.989 on ZJYL. They're saving the 0.001, I guess. I don't know.
Right.
The ask is 209.50.
I posted a story about rum today, RUM. CBS Market Watch put that the stock surged up 21%. They never talk about how, hold on a second. They never speak about, I'm trying to get you a stupid story here. I'm sorry, William. They never speak about how the stock has tumbled down 70%, but they talk about how it rallied 21%. That's the old way to get people to say, hey, man, sell the stock. You know, you made enough money, rally back 21%. But they never say how the stock has created 70%. For example, I'll give you an example. Let's say Finger Motion returns here and runs back up to $5. They're going to say the stock's up 100% from $2.40. That'll be the story. But it's down from the high. They never add that into it. And that's a way for the shorts, like in Rumble. They run in. This is how shorts cover. They take the stock up, then they pull the plug, and people that are in it start bailing out. That's how they get people to sell the stock. That's how shorts cover. When the shorts start to cover, they're going to run it up fast and pull the plug and let it drop. They do it in waves. Because if they did it in one swoop, you get ZJYL. Finger Motion and GTII are working towards those ZJYL moments because these guys are standing and they're not flinching and they're just waiting for us to carry them out. They're like the elephant in the room. No one sees them. That's what they're doing. They're hiding in the corner. That's what these guys are doing. They think that they think that they're going to get away with it or trying to get away with it, but we all see them. So they're doing their best not to be seen. That's what's going on in those names. So Rumble, they force the issue. The shorts run in, start panicking, covering. You know, they may have to cover 10 times that amount. So they run it up, they buy it, it gets strong, and then they pull away and they use the newspapers to convince people, hey, the stock ran 21%. You know, maybe it's time to give it up. That's how they get people to sell. I told you it's a head game. The reporter should be writing, the stock is down 70%, came back 20%. It's got knocked down because the shorts attacked it. That's what the story should have said. And there's more room to the upside. That's the story, not what they posted. What else you got? Wait
There's a
minute.
bunch of questions, and some of them are good. I'll start with the obvious. Red Hook Texan asks you, do we ever win if they keep doing the same thing and nothing is ever done? I think we're making progress.
I think listen, I've said it 100 times to you. It's the biggest crime in U.S. history. This is not something that, we're not dealing with a little drug dealer on the corner. This is the biggest crime in U.S. history. There's plenty of peasants around it, the Kramers, Lynn Partners. Those aren't the big guns. But we're going to bring down, there's banks that are going to get crushed. There's big prime brokers. Everyone's going down with this thing. There's a lot of people going down with the ship. And my thought process is that I think that the big boys are going to start throwing out the small guys to get them to get hung. All right, like the unregistered toxic lenders.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, these guys are popping up like dead bodies in the East River, right? Every day we get a new one, right?
I don't know where the East River is.
Well, in Manhattan.
Closer to Long Island, I guess, than New Jersey.
These bodies all the bodies are popping up. They're all getting caught. All right, that they're all getting caught. Now, which one of these idiots jump back in the game? That's a different story. They open up new LLCs, and that's where the criminal indictments are going to have to come down. Because once they get caught, the paperwork from the SEC shows they're criminals. Now you get the criminal indictments. It's a blueprint for the DOJ just to go in and go check out that whoever that guy's name was yesterday who got caught, that Mark Brazil caught, and let them go through the 134
IR or something, ABR,
yeah, whatever that is, right? Let them go. Let someone go through their 134, the history of all their trades. I guarantee you can see all the money flowing in from all the shit they were selling way before anybody did any, any conversions. These guys have no money. They're just using your money. That's how they do it.
Several people are asking you, at least two, but I think I saw more. Could the ZJYL go up drastically before the split, the forward split?
We said that the other day when it was 70 or 80 or 90 or 100.
Yeah.
Right? We've been saying it every day. I believe that if I was short, what would you do if you were short? Would you cover before?
I'd wear lifts. Oh,
I would cover before the split. That's what I would do.
In general, did you say enough about that question? I don't know. I might have cut you off.
I said I would cover before the shorts, before the forward.
So you think the rally in ZJYL is going to come before the forward split?
Yes.
Okay.
And I think you're starting to see it. I mean, if I was short, I'd be covering. But you could see yesterday when it got to 240, one of the short sales saying, okay, before I get blown out here, let me try to hold it down and get people to bail out. Well, that didn't work. It brought in more buyers.
Right.
So I think it's backfiring on them right now.
Well, there's no volume to speak of if they're short.
Right.
Million.
So just look at it
shares.
this way. Let's say you look at it right now, it's 189 to 204. And it's traded 25,000 shares. And there's no selling in it right now. It's standing, it's basically not doing anything, up $37. The short sellers are not holding it up here because they're your friend. They're holding it, they don't know what to do. They can't knock it down. So what are they gonna, what's the plan? Just sit here and wait till it goes to 20 to 1? Go ahead. Everybody's fine with that.
Right.
So it's basically a Mexican standoff here. We're sitting here looking at them, they're looking at us, the same thing. So again, it's at a point where, they had the fake story written already. They did that already. They used that firm to write we're attacking the company, all that nonsense is that behind it. They tried, that didn't work. Now what are they going to say? They're going to go get another story. They're calling the SEC up every day. Hurry up, shut them down. Hurry up, my short's going up. I can't stay short. Someone's going to get called in, and this is very, very dangerous right now as a prime broker, because your short sellers have to put up margin money. If the stock is just run up $37, trust me, the numbers on your margin are going crazy. Prime broker is going to sit there and say, okay, listen, the stock's 200 up 37 today. You're short a million shares. You got to put up, you got to put up $300. to protect this. We need to be covered.
Right.
You know, when it was 100, we could say you could put up 200. Now it's 200, you got to put up 300. So unless you're a very, very, very deep pocket player, no one can withstand these numbers. These are like, crazy.
So you might not be able to answer this specifically, but in general, what does it mean when a company starts issuing preferred shares to sort of get out of this situation? Apparently MMAT, which did the reverse split, is issuing a Series C preferred shares to raise money.
I have to read it. I don't want to advise anybody.
Okay.
On something.
My own limit, I'd like to read it too, but my own limited understanding of preferreds is, of course, they're senior to equity, but more importantly, they give control of the company and voting in some cases, but I don't know. Depends on how the document's written. I don't think it's a good sign for shareholders.
Right.
But I'll read it.
I can't advise on it for something I didn't read. I had no idea.
So this guy has 5 shares of ZJYL after the split. Will I have 100? Yes. I can do that arithmetic.
I couldn't get it. I had needed a pen, pencil, and a calculator.
I'm not making fun of you. I'm making fun of my own abilities.
No, listen. It's very. Listen, these are terms. Listen, the terms that you're learning are very everyday. That's why I keep trying to tell everyone you have to educate yourself, and then there's so much stuff that we post that you forget the old stuff, right? So I try to circle back all the time and try to recap it, but having a forward split is new to everybody here. I haven't seen it in a bunch of years. So now you're seeing it a different way. Someone's attacking it. And the only reason it works with this company, because it's small enough that you can. There's not small enough, meaning there's only 1 million shares in the float. So by doing it 20-1, now the company will have 20 million shares. But the problem is that if you're short, you're going to have the short amount goes up that big too. So
the FNGR dividend is going to be a warrant. And I guess that's a good strategy, huh?
Well, after thinking about it for 24 years, yes, I think it's a good strategy. You remember, this dividend has been designed by Morgan Lewis Bacchius, the senior partner. We went through tax issues, SEC issues. I spent $1.4 million designing it. It was designed not to reward us as shareholders. We really don't care. It's designed to throw a wrench into the brokers that are protecting the crooks. Your E-Trade account has to have shares to match your name so they can give you your warrant. It's a gift. You deserve it. If the stock goes to 20 and you can't get your warrant, you will never be able to profit. Let's say you wind up getting it 2,000 shares. Imagine the stock's at 20 and you can get a free warrant at 10. You make yourself 20,000 for nothing, right?
Right.
Now, I think the stock's going way higher. Imagine it goes to 100 and you got a free $10 warrant. You can make $90. But if you don't have it and your brokerage firm jerks you around, you'll never be able to sell it. You'll be in litigation with them. So when the time comes when the company does finalize this thing, like GTII, people call up and harass them. Hey, I need my warrant. Well, you can't do. I need my warrant. That's all you have to say. I want to know why it isn't in my account. And that's fighting back. That's way to fight back, because we're putting E-Trade. Look, Interactive Brokers. Interactive Brokers is obviously dirty. Are they naked shorting in a hedge fund that they operate themselves, try to make money from these things? Could be. I don't know. Are they protecting somebody in their organization that's outside, that's doing business through Interactive Brokers? I don't know. But they've been fined $5 million for naked short selling before. Their stock just keeps going up, and crime pays for these brokerage firms. It's just the way it is. You can see it. If a small company got fined $5 million by the SEC, all the short sellers would be out there bashing it. These companies are no good. They're all criminals. The CEO's a crook. Interactive Brokers, it's right there. They paid $5 million naked shorting. What companies did they kill? I don't know. Goldman Sachs does it every day. What companies they killed? No problems. Just keep buying Goldman Sachs. How is it that these companies get rewarded and everyone else gets tortured for nothing? Finger motion, we had Capybara and that whoever another fake reporter Benzinga put out fake reports about their earnings, completely fraudulent. The company goes after them in court. We're waiting for the judge to sign the final document that they defaulted, which they defaulted already. It's all over with already. And yet we have to wait for the judge to rule on it. How crazy is that? The criminals are running wild. And I keep telling you, companies, management have to go through lawyers, legal, this, all this mumbo jumbo. Finger motion this morning comes out with the dividend, and right away someone's hit the sell button. Sell. Hurry up, get it red. This isn't good news. That's what they want you to think. This is not good news. The company's trying to reward you. Come on, that doesn't make sense. Hurry up, sell it. Every tick. The stock hasn't been up since October 10th. October 10th is straight down. Think how crazy this is.
It's do you think Finger can run up before that warrant as a special dividend is?
I got to see. I don't know what the details on it yet.
Yeah.
So the company approved. I don't know what the details are. Let's see what the devil's in the details, as they say.
Right.
If I had to guess, I guess it'd be something convertible at $10. Why do I say that? Because that's the number I always throw around. I think the stock's going to 100. So why not give everybody a chance to make some real money, right?
This guy's great. He bought 40
Yeah.
shares of ZJYL. You're going to be rich, I think.
Wow, listen, that again, I believe me, I don't usually pray to make money. I pray for health. The most important thing is your health. I don't care what you can take all the money in the world. If you're not healthy, it means shit. But I hope it works for you. I hope you guys make a lot of money. I do not own it. I have $1.83 in my account, so I'm a little short buying that stock. I have nothing. Everything I have is in the red, so I'm not going to sell things that I've been in for a long time to jump into some new play.
Oh, so you were on Ace's call last night. This guy says you said something about a different option on how to trap the shorts.
Yeah, it's called a rights offering, but I have not studied it yet. When I figured it out, when I get all the gory details on it, when the money manager told us about a rights offering, and he said that the rights offering puts the short in jeopardy out of the gate because it's obviously they have to deliver the right to you immediately. With the warrants, we always have to wait for the stock to cross that line, right? Before it's got value.
I see. Yeah.
So I don't know enough about it, but this is a guy that's 60 years old. He ran $2 billion, and he has some ideas also. So I mean, so I said I have to research it, but I haven't had the time.
Well, we were here live waiting for you. I'm glad you got on with Ace.
I got home about 9 o'clock. I texted him, said I'm jumping in the shower. I just got home. Give me 10, 15 minutes, and I jumped on.
Yeah, no, it's great. I think most of the audience is the same, but that's great. But I just want we were waiting for you.
Well, the gentleman there, if he listened to the call last night, I'm basically saying the same thing over and over again. It's because I was always taught you can always tell someone who's lying if the story changes. I was always taught that, and I can say this stuff at 200 miles an hour, the same thing without even thinking about it. And that tells you that it's the same thing all the time. And I had a money manager tell me that. He goes, you know what? Believing in this shit is hard to do, but you're so confident, and no matter what I ask you, you turn on a dime, you can answer the question in a second, meaning that you're not thinking about it. You understand, you're going word for word, which you believe. And that's what he believed in me. And that was 15 years ago. That guy told me that. Yes, I do think Florida State's going to win the national championship again this year. So there you go.
People are buying Finger. They're buying some ZJYL. You don't have to own a lot of ZJYL to have a little bit of.
If I had to say anything to anybody about that stock, if you have the money to buy one share, at least you can see how it works. I don't care if you're a billionaire. you buy one share and you say, wow, I was involved in a forward split. Let's say it's 3 years from now. And you know what? This idiot said it would work, and it did work. And you could say, you know, based on that, you can actually be in it. You know, if you did it in GameStop, imagine buying 100 shares of GameStop. You're saying, I told friends to buy it, and a lot of them said, nah, the company's a piece of shit. They wouldn't buy it. That's a typical Wall Street thing. I would be like that. You know, I would say the same thing. But if I just bought 100 shares and it went to $400, you made a lot of money for no money. So, I mean, to buy one share and take a shot, you know, that's Wall Street. Wall Street's about gambling. That's the whole thing is about the whole thing is about that. So if these guys believe it's going to the moon, buy one share for $205, you'll get the education is worth more than anything that you're doing here.
So this, going with the education, this guy is pointing out that a forward split, you're just getting more stock, but at a lower price. Well, that's true. But the point is to try to catch the naked
The shorts
shorts.
are getting the key to the whole thing. When the stock goes a forward split, the stock price is going to go down because they're making it more liquid. They're giving shares. There's more shares in the system now, correct?
Right.
But the short seller has got the problem. He's going up 20 to 1. So just think about the short seller. Let's say they're short $1 million. Now he's short 20 million. Every dollar the stock goes, let's say it opens up at 5, it goes to 6, they're down 20 million, 7, 20 million. Imagine trying to cover this stuff now. You know, it becomes a monster headache.
Yeah, exactly. So
Well, just think about what companies are trying to do to save their ass from security fraud on Wall Street. Look what you have to do. Do you think companies want to hire lawyers and go out and do this nonsense? Because there's no one in their right mind, okay, that's going to run out and buy ZJYL in size. I couldn't tell a money manager to do that.
No, I saw one guy on Twitter owns 1,500 or something.
Go buy 100,000 shares at $200. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, it can go to 0. It can go to 5,000. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But I do tell guys at a hedge fund, hey, go buy 2,000. I tell them all the time, go buy 2,000, go buy 1,000. Just, you know, be there. That's all. Buy 500 shares. Buy 1,000.
Yeah.
You're running $50 million. Go buy 500 shares. You know, and see what happens. Learn about a forward split. We're all learning about a forward split. We all know about reverse splits, right? We don't have, you know, no one's calling me up and saying, hey, that reverse split worked perfect for me. I was long and I only lost 120% of my money. We all know it goes down. We all know it. Wall Street traps the CEOs, forces them to do these things, and everybody gets wiped out. They keep saying it's great, but I never seen it work where it says it's great. Never, ever, never, ever.
So I'm trying to find it, but somebody asked, do you think somebody shorted ZJYL at like $8, $10?
I don't know. I picked up at it when it was, when it ran that day, ran up to 500, pulled back. And that's when my friends said they were starting to buy it on the dip, always back down. And that's when I jumped into it. So I hit up yesterday and I saw this thing back in November was $8. God. Some idiot was shorted, maybe they got blown out on the last run. I don't know. But the last run probably blew out a few smaller shorts. Now you got some other guys in here and now it's their turn to get crushed. That's how it goes. Finger motion, we just have one person. This one has probably multiple guys. Finger motion has one short. It's all tied to Lynn and their friends. And if you look at the stock, the stock opened to 265, was over 100,000 shares, 177,000. Then they ripped it down after buying came in and pushed it down to 230. And here we are. And it hasn't traded in 5 minutes. It's sitting there doing nothing. So again, when buyers show up, the stock picks its head up. When there's no one here, they mark it down and they cross it. They're crossing and washing. Why? Because they need to create volume so that people say, oh, it's traded 700,000 shares today. People are selling. Well, that's not true.
This guy, I'm just reading this guy's point.
Yeah.
Rights offerings can be tradable or not tradable. I'm not sure why it matters.
Yeah, that's what I have to figure it out. If they can be tradable, that's what they can make a market in those things. I have to I have to get someone that's done that stuff before. I got the gist of it. I don't know every legal thing around it, but back in the day, we wanted to stop the stock from trading, issue a special dividend, and this way we get a snapshot of the holders. The brokerage firms won't give us the snapshot, but if we get to court, okay, that snapshot will have to come forward. All right, so it is something that cannot go away. And we, basically the brokerage firms then are committing mail fraud, wire fraud, everything, all the charges that come afterward will get interesting. So again, these are things that I'm reporting to the Secret Service and the FBI and trying to educate them on this stuff also. It's not easy. Oh, this company's doing a forward split. What does that mean? I have to do the same thing. Not everybody trades stocks all day.
So they're holding ZJYL at the high on the day, 209.989. Ridiculous. If your friends own the entire float of Finger or of ZJYL, what do the rest of us own?
Who the hell knows? Not
Or
real
what do
clear.
they own? Or what do they own?
I heard that the vote, it was over by from what I heard, it was over there was 130% they know they own. So that's without anybody else here.
Don Giovanni used your strategy. He sold half of the ZYGL to get all of his money back, and he still holds half. You're trading for free, and that's the point.
That is the ultimate on Wall Street. You may not make $1 gazillion on it, but you can't lose because you're free, right? You can go for a walk, jump off a bridge, do whatever you want. You never have to worry about losing in ZJYL because you have a free shot. That's the game.
Here's the question that I always fear. Talat's asking, if Finger does run attributable to the special dividend, do you think GTII would also do a special dividend?
Well, GTII did the dividend, and the question you have to ask yourself is, why isn't it working, and why is it such a big problem with the people trying to get their GTI dividends? Obviously, there's a big problem here. And you say, well, Finger Motion's going down that same path. It didn't work before, but I believe that enforcement, the SEC, the exposure, the MMTLP, you have to get these things in place. If you're going to sit here and fight back, put things in place that exposes the crooks. So if anyone comes in here, Congress, or what's going on? Can you give us a situation? Well, GTI gave out a dividend, and here's 5,000 shareholders that are still waiting for it, and with all these emails and text messages from Fidelity, Ameritrade that they don't have it, telling you can't put it in the system, you can't sell it. You get all those things together, now you can see the problem. So Finger Motion gets the same thing, compiles the same information. These are all things that can be used to help expose the criminals. That tells you the problem of the non-delivery of the dividend, tells you the proof of naked short selling, which everyone hides. The CEO of Rumble, he came point blank to me and he said, hey, show me the proof. And I told him, you want to buy a bridge? Because it's impossible to get it. No one's giving it to you.
Right.
I don't care who you are. No one's giving it to you, because if you got that information, you would break the whole system. MMTLP, I told him, and I had to explain what the hell that was. I said, those people have been waiting over a year. I don't know how many days it is now, 400 days, whatever it is, to get the information. And they can't get it. And they got Congress, representatives, all kinds of people helping them out, and they can't get that information. So again, I said, stop. You're going down the wrong path. You're not getting the information, so give up on it already.
I guess I get this question, so I hope you don't, it doesn't annoy you. There's no way in hell. But this
The
gentleman,
answer is yes.
this gentleman is asking, will Finger do a reverse stock split? And I get that question all right.
Oh, I hope so. Just so it annoys everybody.
He's being a jerk. Don't listen, Augustin.
I'm sorry. Yes, that is. I have to tell you straight out. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. William is a putz for asking me. And I apologize if you're a rookie. If you're a rookie and I got it, that you're not a novice, you're not an expert in this stuff.
Yeah,
But that is a shit question and one that makes no sense.
and I shouldn't have asked it. He's mad at me, not at you.
No, listen, I'm just being polite. It's a stupid question. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? It's a good question. It's an awful question.
Wow, that's
Straight out.
interesting. This gentleman, Vanguard, doesn't let him TII since the first warrants. They stopped letting me buy that stock. That's interesting. That, to me, that shows the back office now recognizes they have a problem.
They want nothing to do with these headaches. That's exactly right. They have they've gotten caught in the past, and now they want nothing to do with it. Any company that's trying to expose the system, that's what they do. And I can't wait to get to Puerto Rico and help pitch the story about the TV show. Just think of us controlling the airwaves. That's all you have to think about.
This is an interesting. Yeah, can we steal his business plan and go raise the money ourselves?
No, we're gonna be part of it and jump on his ship, because this guy, he's actually friends with Carl Icahn and he knows all the big players. So what more do you want? Having the big players pitch the other big players to support the deal and get it going. He needs the content, which I can deliver.
I don't think I'll be a putz if I ask you this question.
All right, redeem yourself. Get off the putz list.
If somebody owns the whole float, let's say in ZJYL, your friends, and then were to take the entirety of that out in street name, what would that shareholder then be? Would that group of shareholders be the only legal shareholders?
If they got the physical cert, yes, they would be the only ones with physical.
So everyone else would just own nothing. Yeah, that's kind of what's going on with MMTLP.
Well, look at it this way. Let me give you my opinion on this. I know the number is a little bit higher. I think it's 1.2, whatever. I'm just going to use a round number, 1 million shares.
Right.
Let's say there's 10 of us. We all own 100,000 shares. Let's say, guys, let's pull out 500,000 shares. That means everybody now has 50,000 shares in the system, correct?
Right.
If you pull out 50,000 or 500,000 shares, 50% of the float gets pulled out, and they have to deliver it. Wouldn't it make the other 50,000 worth a lot of money?
Yeah.
So that seems like, hey, let's all sacrifice, not own 100%. Let's have less shares, but we'll make it worth a lot of money. So that's the way I would do it. It's interesting, but that's the way I would do it. And remember, this is all this stuff, all these ideas come from the SEC, because the SEC is allowing the criminals to rob everybody, and it's proof every day they get the toxic lenders. All these toxic lenders are naked short sellers. They make believe that they're buying stock at a discount. They're full of shit. As soon as they know there's a deal, they start selling it. And they're not selling it. They're selling it way before anybody. Before they put up 1 penny, they're already short. I put up a stock today. I found that Lynn Partners did a, hold on, I think I bookmarked it. Hold on a second. I can't remember all these symbols. Peter, X-Ray, Mary, David.
Yeah.
Secures a 3.3 million growth capital from Lynn Partners. I wrote, congratulations, your stock will be worthless. February 23rd, February 23, the stock was $37. I said, that's right, 37.
54 cents.
I wrote 56 cents. It's even lower.
I think you're being nefarious.
It's right there. How are they making all their money? They gave $3 million to this company. If they're still there, they're worthless, right? How are they making all that money?
You're being nefarious.
They're the worst. They pick the worst companies to invest. How do you invest in a company that goes from 37 to 56 cents?
Hey, they've
He's
got
the,
a,
re-
they've got
he's the
clients that
reverse
have
of Warren
endless
Buffett.
amounts of money.
He's the opposite of Warren Buffett. Warren picks good companies that go up. These guys invest and they go down.
When did they
Yet
make
they're
the
up to-
financing of PXMD?
I don't know.
Because it's at its all-time lows right now.
No matter what they've done, they destroyed it. It's destroyed, right?
Yeah.
And the company gave them money. It's a year, not even a year ago, straight down. It's pretty easy. Just go look at the old data.
Well,
It's straight down.
November, right around November 13th a year ago, the stock was basically $2, and then it gapped down, I guess, right after. And in my theory, prior to it gapping down in November 6th, the stock was as high as almost $11. They started selling before the signature was on the document.
Go back to February 2023. They started selling at $37.
Right.
And the way you look at it, say, well, it wasn't trading 10,000 shares a day. You push it down, all of a sudden it's trading 30,000 a day. You push it down, now it's trading 200,000 a day. Push it lower, it trades 500,000 a day. So the buyers keep coming in. The company says they're funded. We're doing great. We got money. Why is the stock going down? And the CEO, everybody's positive, and your stock goes down every day. And these guys keep laying into it, laying into it, laying into it. That's how it works. But at the end of the day, their investment, their technology, whatever this company told them about, either they are morons at Lynn Partners. We can walk up there and sell them the Brooklyn Bridge and they'll fund it, is the way it looks to me. They'll fund anything.
As long as you have volume that they can short.
If you got volume, if you got a stock and it has volume, we're in. They don't care what you do. They put out these great press releases. We're here to help you grow. Yeah, okay.
Sounds like Viagra.
It's everything that they fund goes straight down. I don't know how that works, but it's
So
it's
your
not
friend
me, but
from the Citadel, or is it that, what's that other place where you train soldiers? For something or other. Anyway, he's asking you, Choice Trade won't let him buy GDC. So it shows a massive problem with a huge short issue. He's the guy
tell
that
them to go someplace else. Tell them to stop complaining to me.
he
know
lent
that
you
broker
his
firm.
car while he went on a cruise.
Oh, I put all kinds of garbage in his car. I was doing everything with it. I used it as a garbage truck. He doesn't know that. Don't tell him. He's not listening, is he?
No, he's not listening.
I was lending it out. They have that car lending program. He was gone for 20-something days. I was lending his car out on the site.
On the Uber dash door program?
Right, whatever it was. I was delivering hamburgers and driving it.
Vocal D is trading at 255. It opened at 260. It's down 10 cents. I guess that's going to work. We should have a bet on how quickly it gets under $1.
I told you, just one time, I'm going to tell you, my friend said, what is that? If break even was $14, I think I told you, or 14 or $15.
You said 15.
15, there you go.
I predicted the other day it would be down $1 or it'd be under $1 in one day. Looks like I'm going to be wrong, but we'll find out.
All right.
The day's not over. Let's see. Ham's army of short killers need to continue to, attack in the sense of information, crooked brokers. Your friend says you're the best Uber driver he ever had.
I am very good.
It's a good
My
response.
dad said I should have been. My dad used to say that because, boy, you remember where you're going all the time. You should be a cab driver. That's what he told me.
Yeah. You moved up past your that's the Peter principle. You moved beyond your abilities. You were promoted beyond your abilities.
Yes. My dad knew I had potential to be a cab driver.
I didn't know this.
Thank you,
He's
Dad.
telling you, and I guess you know it, but Bill Ackman and his wife bought almost 20% of the Tel Aviv Stock Exchange. I don't know why it's relevant, but it's interesting.
All we need is that license. And again, I have 2 meetings ready to go. I'm trying to firm it up. If they say go, William, you just have to grab your bag and out the door. That's it. There's no.
I'm going to grab my
This is
coat.
like I'll have the helicopter like we're leaving Vietnam. You got to climb up the rope and we're getting out of here.
I'm going to grab my coat and grab my hat.
That's it. Grab your card and your brochure. Hey, that's a good question. If anyone understands, do you need to have a business card they hand out in Korea at a meeting? Because some countries love to hand. You got to give them a business card. Even if you scribble something on a card, they'll take it. But I don't know if that's needed. But if anyone has an idea about that, William, think about it. You don't have to talk about it now. Just think about it. I don't know.
I'm going to get a business card. It's going to say HAMSHORTKILLER's personal assistant, executive assistant.
No, I'll get you the business card. I'll have it there. William, I'll just say genius. That's what I'm just going to say. In what? We won't know, but we'll just call you genius, the genius. We'll be Pinky in the Brain from the kids' cartoon.
Just put looking for dementia drug that works. Do you think finger turns during the second quarter with all the catalysts you're talking about?
Well, let's look at it this thing. China will cut the reserve requirement ratio for banks in early February to help the economy. So China's doing everything to help their economy grow. What does that mean? They need more. They need the cell phone technology more. They'll buy new phones. All this stuff helps finger motion, right?
Right.
I mean, everyone thinks it's going to help Apple and Tesla and and Nike shoes. And by the way, my friend told me he was just in China. He said that China makes a knockoff Tesla car, that one with the X with the doors open up. I think it is $18,000.
And the one that doesn't chop off your finger by mistake. Did you see that video?
No.
In the middle of closing, if you have your hand there, it doesn't pop. It doesn't pop back out. Ugh. They were showing carrots.
Listen, it's not my business. I'm just saying that he said that China makes electric cars that cost 18 grand. And he said they were very nice. Roomy, everything about it. So I don't know what that means for Tesla, nor do I care. Elon Musk doesn't seem to care about it. His shareholders, the stock's been going down after all the press. He usually steps up when it really gets dicey for him. So I don't know how he doesn't do a dividend, stand up for the people, fight for us. I don't know. I told him the other day, reach out. We'll buy, everyone I know will buy your cars if you help us out. No one says anything. Just remember all the people that you idolize. Look how little they do to help you. Just remember that. And I yelled at East last night. I didn't mean to yell at him because my wife does it all the time. She signs up to buy these. They take a sweepstakes to get a free home in Florida or something. She's always signing up for those things.
You already posted that post about the massive stock lending firm. This motorcycle mechanic wants you to explain it. Stock lending firm processing over 2 trillion in transactions. I just kind of read part of it to you guys. But
yeah, I didn't. I just put it up there. I've been on the call, so I haven't had a chance. Identified as a technical issue that caused the portions of its system to go offline.
It's a cyber attack.
You call them up and you say, I'm a hedge fund. I have an account with you, and I like to short finger motion. I like to borrow 200,000 shares. All right. That's the place. These places say, okay, we got you covered. We mark it down. William borrowed 200,000 shares. And this way you got confirmation that you borrowed it. Now, for the most part, these places don't even have the shares. They just make believe. And it's owned by Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, you said? I forget who you said. JP Morgan.
Yeah, it's owned after incessant short selling year to date, just hours after the China announced its short selling ban, the largest facilitator of shorting stocks suddenly goes offline. And then he writes, sorry, was hacked. Equilend.
That's a good thing for us, right? So that's where people are borrowing shares. In finger motion, they just keep creating shares.
Equilend was
selling.
established in 2001 and was owned by 10 of the biggest Wall Street firms: Goldman Sachs, BlackRock, JP Morgan, which came together to provide a standardized and central global pattern to screw every single retail no, it doesn't say that, for trading and post-trade services. It's all right in front of us. It's racketeering.
And these guys are protecting the small crooks. And that's why I keep saying that we're bringing law enforcement to the game now. And the people that get caught first, as we used to say in Brooklyn, KYP, people that get pinched first, meaning arrested, is going to be the low-hanging fruit. It's the guy on the corner first that goes. All right? When the feds want to make a noise, they go out and arrest a bunch of Italian guys standing on the corner and call them the mafia, right? They get them. We should just tell everybody the mafia is shorting finger motion. The feds will come in a minute because they hate the Italian mafia.
So when washing trades, do shorts close positions during the day?
When they wash trades, they close positions.
But they also open up new ones.
Listen, I'll do it easy for you. Account A is short 100,000 shares. They get a call that they shorted the stock and they have to deliver the stock. So the broker E-Trade calls you up and says, hey, you sold us 100,000 shares. You need to deliver it. The short seller who's making sure it has no stock. And he tells E-Trade, yes, let me call up Morgan Stanley because I bought it from them. That's the lie. He's making believe he bought it from somewhere else. So E-Trade's on the phone saying, hey, I need delivery. I need to know what's going on. So you hang up and say, I'll call you right back. They get off the phone. They get another account, another LLC. So they're short. The new LLC shorts it to them. They close their position out. So that account A with 100,000 shares was short. Now purchases 100,000 shares, they are flat. That is considered a wash trade. But that account is now closed. They call back E-Trade and say, hey, I just bought, Morgan Stanley was not delivering it. I just bought 100,000 shares from JP Morgan. Here's my confirmation. And now they'll go after the new LLC that just opened up. So they buy more time. So they just create this mess and just keep a daisy chain of FTDs that fails to deliver going on. Eventually, E-Trade is going to say, I'm tired of chasing this guy around. And they stop calling. That's what happens.
Got you.
It's fake on top of fake on top of fake.
Oh, that's why he brought up Tel Aviv. He's concerned that the counterfeiters will move all their criminality to Tel Aviv exchange. Maybe.
Well, I would agree on that region of the world where it's coming from. I would agree on that.
I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Do you think MMTLBP will be resolved with the support of Congress?
Yes. If we didn't believe that, then you better lock your doors and sell everything you have and leave the country because it's going to be, if they're not going to help you, no one's going to help us, right?
This is a loop back to how you started the call, but do you believe a rumor of a buy-in in ZJYL is still operative?
What was the rumor of the buy-in?
I don't know. I can't remember. I'm putting it off on you.
I don't remember ever saying that the rumor of the buy-in. The rumor is that these guys are short. They're doing a 20-for-1 split. People own a lot of it, and they're going to squeeze them. There you go. That's all I know.
There.
Now, there's a rumor of a buy-in. I gave you where it's coming out of. It's coming out of whatchamacallit, Interactive Brokers. All right. And if you wanted to buy the stock, I would tell you to, if you wanted to buy 2 shares, you buy one and you wait for them to attack and you buy another one to get into the stock.
That's how I built my massive position. I
All right.
started in the high hundreds and finished it at $75.
All right.
But I'm going to be a Rockefeller.
Well, again, you could see yesterday's attack shows you how trapped they are. For someone to come in, and if you just look at yesterday's trade, you can see the exact time. You can see the whole thing. It's right there. I'll put it up, barchart.com. And I'll put in the symbol, ZJYL. Give me a second. Easy, William. Take it easy. I can't move that fast. I hit the
Just sitting
interactive
here
chart.
being a putt.
I hit the interactive chart, 1 day chart. And you can actually see yesterday's attack. The stock ran up and they knocked it down. I can tell you exact time. It looks like about, what the hell is 14:05? What time is that?
2.
All right, so a little after 2, the stock hit 440, or whatever, 240, excuse me. And then they sold 30,000, 20, everything. Boom, boom, boom. You can see the red bars. The stock went from 240 down to 155, something like that. In 4 trades, 4 big trades. Sell it at the market as fast as you can. They needed to mark this stock down. Just think about you owning 1,000 shares of stock and you want to sell it as low and as fast as possible. You would lose 1,000 shares. You would have lost $80 or $80,000, 80 points or $80,000 selling 1,000 shares at the market like that. If they waited, they would have sold the stock at 300, but no, they wanted to sell it at 150, 160. That's the attack that we see in finger motion all the time. We just saw that attack in GTI from 28 to 20 cents. We just saw the attack there. The red bars, boom, 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 boom. People don't sell stocks like that. When I sold the stock, even if I was stuck in it, I would let it go down. And when it bounced back up, I made my sale.
Yeah, exactly.
These guys are just trying to sell it as fast as you can. There used to be a guy named Kenny Hebner back in the day.
I remember that name.
He used to be the mad bomber. He used to come out and kill stocks like that. He'd sell them like crazy like that. There used to be a thing called bullets. It was option related. The SEC banned bullets. Basically, they were buying calls and buying puts. And they turn around and exercise the calls. So you could buy an option today. All right, let's say finger motion. You buy the $3 calls. And you can say, I want to exercise the calls. They're going to say, wait a second, why would you do this? The stock is 240. You're going to be in the whole 50 cents. I want 1 million shares of stock. I want to be long. I converted the options into stock. And what they do then they would buy the $3 puts. And they sell that million shares they just created. Because remember, William, we needed an uptick back in the day, correct?
You used to.
So this was the way to create free trading stock using options so they could sell it without an uptick.
Right.
And they would turn around and sell that stock like crazy, destroying the price. I see them drive stocks down $10. And guess what happened? They lose money on the stock that they're selling, but they make it all back in plus on the puts that they own because the puts become more valuable. And they did that on a hedge. And I watched
What's
them do it
that
all the time.
called? What's that strategy called?
It was called bullets.
Bullets.
It was a married put and call. They used to call it bullets back in the day. And my friend was the broker at a firm called OTA. And I forget, Connecticut, wherever it was. And he was the biggest client was Stevie Cohen. They shut it down. And you say, wow, your friend did that? Yeah. Because it was allowed back then, right? They were doing it. And as a broker, he became so wealthy from all the commission on those trades over the years they were doing it that forget what the money he had. And he was just a broker on the trades. He wasn't doing it. He wasn't involved in the trades. He was just a broker. He's like the guy from Morgan Stanley at Share and Tell. I naked shorted every day. I naked shorted every day. Who'd you do for? No one ever says. So they were all doing these type of trades back in the day. Then the Then the SEC banned it, and now we're here.
If ZJYL does go up and you sell it, would you buy Finger or GDC, or which one do you expect would go?
I told
first?
people on Ace's call last night. Someone asked me the same question.
Yeah, might be the same guy.
I look at it this way: I would buy the stock that you believe has fundamental value in these short names. So I believe it's Finger Motion. I don't know anything about GDC. I'm just going off of somebody else. But again, you could go find your own. Finger Motion, you can see their revenues exploding. They're going to be profitable. It says it in their press release. You can just go read it. They're giving me a dividend. They got great partnerships. So to me, the stock is $2.40. It's not going out of business. It has 15 million cash in the bank. The Chinese economy is improving. What's the negative? One thing is negative. Lynn Partners. That's it. That's how I look at the names. You got to look at it. You got to find something that has fundamental value at this point. Besides the short squeeze nonsense. All right. I'm just saying it's nonsense. It's here. We can't do anything about it, and that's the benefit. That's the beauty of why we're here. Because if you're right, you get ZJYL or GameStop moments. That's what it's about. The SEC won't deny it. They're shitting in their pants because we put the truck in front of them. If we were making stuff up, William, how long ago would they shut us down? It's not like we were putting up, baby stuff out there. We were putting up numbers, photos, telling them who the crooks are, everything about it. For years, we've been doing it now, right?
Yeah.
So if they attack us, all we need to know is we want to see the data, what's behind it. And that's why they don't attack us, because they know it's real.
This is an interesting example. It's a learning lesson. Sunil has an order to buy 300 shares of GDC at 180. They just filled an order above Sunil at 1.8011.
Right.
They don't want you to buy the stock.
But they trade against, listen, whatever it is, they always trade. Market makers trade against your orders. Like if I was buying GDC and I saw there's all these bids coming in at 180, I'll scoop up anybody who's selling it 181, right? The worst I could do is turn around and sell it to you at 180 and lose a penny, right? What happens if I buy it at 181, you're sitting at 180, and all of a sudden the stock runs to $2, I can flip to 181, make 19 cents. Mm-hmm. That's what traders do. They trade in front of you, and when you go to sell it, they stand in front of you and short in front of you. And that's why I tell you, when you buy a stock, if you want to trade it, make sure you put an order in to sell it, because you want to sell it when they're running to buy it. You don't want to sell a stock when they're marking it down. That's exactly what's going on in Finger Motion. If you're trying to sell it, they're just going to abuse you and still take you out at the lowest price. But the stock doesn't even trade anymore. The only time it's trading is when they manipulate his cross stock, because here you can watch it, it doesn't even move, which is normal trading. The only thing that's abnormal is when they start crossing and washing it.
Well, this gentleman thinks Alpine is going down. Do you think when Alpine goes down, GTII will go up?
That position is hiding somewhere, whether it's in Alpine or a European bank or it came in, it's somewhere. And the ties to that short position are going to get severed soon. And when the regulators come in and start looking through Alpine, the wreckage of that prime broker, it's got to be somewhere where they move it. So they'll find it. Eventually, yes, I do agree on that.
So
I think it will be exposed when the regulators or whoever investigators get in there and try to figure out what damage is left in this prime broker.
There's getting some shills in here. I guess your attacks are over the target.
Well, I hope they go to jail. So again, the sell orders will always go back to the money. The phone records show they deal with each other. The short seller that we spoke about, my friend told me yesterday, he knows Hindenburg, he knows Capybara, he knows all these guys, Andrew Left, they know them all. They all work in the same circles. All right, so again, there's a short seller that is all the information on Andrew Left and all those idiots. I could care less. All I care about is this game.
I like how this guy's thinking. It's how you have to think, but he's asking you, do you think IBKR puts make sense after ZJYL runs? I'm going to guess
they
not.
told me that they beat Interactive Brokers. They took an $80 million hit on some other stock that they were involved in that they knew they were short. I don't know what the stock was. I have no idea. No, I don't know. I don't know nothing about Interactive Brokers. I do believe that these guys are all. It's just amazing that they just keep printing and stealing money. So it's tough to bet against these criminals with the brokerage firms because they just they had no value. What is he doing? He's executing trades for you, and they just steal from you. Think about that.
If you want to do something like that, just buy 3 puts. If they go up, sell 1 to get your money back and see what happens. But I don't think IBKR looks like a bank in trouble, but I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, the CEO knows everything about naked short selling. If you go back and look at his video, and he said that the GameStop was ready to break the whole system because everybody couldn't cover it. The money was like going to disappear. So they all know about it. He's got a video. It's pretty, go on YouTube and just look at it. CEO of IBKR, and you'll see him. He's a Russian guy, and go see him. He's there. He's super wealthy. Knows all about naked short selling, and here he is. He's doing it himself, or his firm is allowing it. Something that's going through Interactive Brokers is the problem. So, and the people that are playing this game in ZJYL pretty sophisticated if they know all this information. So, I'm just trying to pass it to you to show you how it really works. That's all.
Well, it's run out of questions.
Remember, Wall Street's a small place. People talk. They have connections. People that run big money have connections to get answers. We do not have the big connections, so I have to go kiss everyone's ass to get you the information. I'm a great ass kisser, so.
Ooh.
I'll leave it at that.
That's an image that is an image. There aren't any more questions. Doesn't mean you have to go. You can keep talking.
It's miserable out. I got nowhere to go. I can't do anything. I have no meetings, nothing going on right now. So just, I'm here. Let's keep going. I'll touch any stock. I'll ask any questions. I don't care. Big emotion, watching it, nothing going on. It's like watching paint dry besides the nonsense back and forth. Okay, so we had the attack down to 230. Now we're 241 to 245. All the selling is stopped. All of a sudden, the attack is stopped. It's 300 by 400. There's always 400 for sale. Everyone's always stock for sale. If you short 205 million shares, 400 shares, correct?
Right.
The ZJYL is very interesting at this point. They're sitting here. They're trying to put a lid on it, trying to hold it down. They were doing that yesterday at 125 before I took off. I posted it on Twitter. I said, 125 looks like the spot these guys don't want to go through. I left, and the thing went to 125, and it ran to 2, trying to stack it and hold it. Today, it looks like 200 is the new wall, right? Don't let it over 200. Over 200, hold it down. So it looks like this is the spot. So if I was playing it, I would use a 200 top. I wouldn't pay any more and just stay here because it looks like they're going to try to hold it, try to knock it down to 180, 170, some nonsense. But if they can't do what doesn't go down, it goes up. So you got to be careful here.
Well, the volume is so low on ZJYL. It feels like next move is up.
Pretty. Listen, there's no sellers in the stock. It's just it's the same characters doing it.
I wonder
the
how
biggest
many
short-
shorts there are, because they're going to turn on each other and just get the heck out.
Well, that's what happens. There could be 10. Listen, ZJYL probably has 10 shorts in here. You got the big short, then all the fringe players, 20s, 50s, 100s. That guy who did the research report, obviously, he was probably paid by that the big player, right? They
Right.
shorted the stuff.
Right.
So the guy Colbert, whatever that research thing is, the guy who wrote the report.
Yeah.
Let's say he's short 30,000 shares. He's wetting his pants already. He's almost done. Or if he hasn't, he quit yesterday and got bought in, whatever. And then there's someone else now, and this keeps going up. Finger motion in GTII is a different story. We have 2 kamikaze pilots driving a plane, and they only got fuel one way. Once they run out of fuel, it's over with. For example, finger motion. Once Lynn runs out of fuel or stops selling, you're going to see a rocket like you've never seen. Same thing in GTII. Once you take away the false selling on the other side, it's over with. They run. And that's what I expect to happen. And you say, well, what's going to make it happen? You're talking all kinds of shit. When's it going to happen? Well, number one, I don't control the government, but I do think that the pressure is on the government, and I do think they're turning the faucet off, and that these small are going to get shut down first. They have no choice. You can't have the whole U.S., everyone talking about the U.S. equity markets as a complete fraud. I see it on Twitter. I used to see it 1 time a day, 2 times a day. It mostly came from me. Now I see people retweeting it all day long. I don't even know who they are. All day long as I get it. It's like I have a feed of everybody yelling about their company being manipulated all day long.
One guy's asking for your thoughts on Vocal D, CRTD. He's a bag holder. The reverse split today is going to kill us, he thinks. He's just asking for your thoughts.
We're murdered already. You're just you're wearing a black suit and you're laying down in a coffin, because that's what happened to us. That's exactly what happened. Yeah. He's already murdered us. He murdered everybody.
I mean, I guess there's a small chance, Steve, that Lynn Partners wants to make this the example that goes up, but don't count on it. Their clients are greedy. They want every single bit of marrow out of the bone they can get.
They're not going to be around it. They're just not going to do anything stupid now. Just stay away. But somebody else will come in and destroy it. It's free money. It's free money. There's no one defending the company. It's basically, it's like the looters can just come walking in and take what they want here. That's what they're doing. Finger motion is putting a fence around it, protecting it. GTI has done everything they can to protect its franchise. Right? ZJYL is something to protect their franchise. MFTLP and John Bird and all these guys are doing everything they can to protect the people there. That's called protecting your franchise. GNX wanted to protect his franchise, but he did the complete opposite. He hurt his franchise.
This guy, Ryan, is asking, and it's, it's just a, I guess, learning process. After the forward split, wouldn't the short just be in the same position? They're down the same amount in dollars. Is a $5 stock easier to short than a $200 stock? That's his question.
Well, right. The whole thing is that a $5 stock, okay, the most you can make is $5, right? So they got to, first of all, they're going to be short 20 times the amount they're short now. That's number one. The price is going to come down. Do you feel comfortable buying a $5 stock, or do you feel comfortable buying a $200 stock? That's the question. Most people can't handle buying a $200 stock. The volatility is out of control. When you do forward split, you're taking the volatility of the stock. It's going to be 5 to 501, 501 to 502. But just think about trying to cover all those shares that you're short now. Everybody knowing about it, or retail people can jump in front of you and buy the $5 stock. Hedge funds are very afraid to go out and buy in size a $200 stock, but they'll buy in size a $5 stock. Run.
That's an interesting point.
I just told you, I can't tell people to go buy ZYGL in size. I can't tell them to go buy 100,000. I do tell them to go buy 500, 2,000. I do that all day long. I tell my friends that, go take a shot, go buy 500, 1,000, 2,000. What's the big deal? You know, and say it, the first answer is I can lose 400,000 if it goes to zero. That's the first thing they always say. But imagine if it was $5. Yeah, go buy 50,000. They don't even think about it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Do hedge funds have a source of information they all use that's privileged? I'm abbreviating.
You kidding me? 1,000%. I was the source of information at the hedge funds. When someone gave me the scoop on something, what do you think I did with it? Put it under my pillow? What do you think I told everybody?
Do you think, is there one that we could pay for and get some of the same information, or it's just a buddy system?
It's the dark side. You don't want to be on the dark side. I mean, dark side meaning, you know, information flows and it has to flow around to people in DC, right? That's the most important thing, right?
James Harper just made $300 on ZYL. He says thank you.
I'm glad you made some money. I wish it was a lot more, but that's all what can I say? You made 300 more than me. That's that one.
Yeah.
Listen, the money is not going to be big because you're buying small. It's the learning experience. You learned, you traded on a crazy stock that you never would have done in your life, correct?
Right.
Whatever the gentleman's name was, right? You learned, you watched the stock, you see how it works. It does work. You could see when the criminals panic how the stock squeezed to 240 yesterday. You can see what happens. That's what you're learning. And the best time to sometimes to learn is you buy one share and you can figure it out what's going on. It's doing a forward split. What's going to happen in a forward split? We all know that whatever the mess is, it's going to be 20 times bigger. A reverse split makes it smaller. The reverse split is letting the criminals off the hook. That's all you need to know. When you buy an option, you buy a call, you want the stock to go up, you want to bet the stock's going to go down, you buy a put. See, everyone, Wall Street has all these little terminology. When you short, you borrow the shares legitimately. When you're naked short, you're just conjuring up and making your own stock. That's all they're doing. They use the market maker exemption as their crutch to why they're doing it. I'm a market maker. I'm allowed to do this. I'm adding liquidity to the system. That's what they say. But they turned that adding liquidity into the system into a complete fraudulent system. And the SEC knows all about it.
So Mark made $2,000 on rum and FUNN because of ACE. He thanks ACE and himself. He did his own research. So that's good. I'm glad people are making money.
There you go. Listen, it's great. And don't be afraid. If you hear a stock, tell us. You know, I don't know every stock. I don't watch everything.
My right now my computer's in freeze, so it's probably gonna shut down at some point. It's back running. It's getting overheated. I don't know why.
Do you have one of those plastic computers from Sears? What are you using? What do you got going on there? You got a Commodore computer, William. That's what it is, right?
I did buy it from Sears and Roebuck on my credit card. The screen is only black and white.
I used to get a kick when we went to Sears or Kmart. They always had those plastic computers. You know, they were completely plastic. And I always said that the people like in the Wolf of Wall Street, all those boiler room places, they had computers The company couldn't fight anymore. He threw his hands up. He let the whole thing unwind. So the way to clean it up as a public company, he reverses the stock and says, "Everybody, I'm doing it for the benefit of the company." And we're all sitting there saying, "Wait a second, everything we own is worthless. You're not doing it in my benefit. I just got wiped out." But for him, it's a fresh start. They start over again. We all forget about it. We take our tax loss, and he just moves on. And he'll come out with a flag and saying how wonderful he is and how he's going to grow his business and he's going to be happy. And he'll raise money at, the stock is now $2.50. So a Lynn or somebody's going to come to him and say, "Hey, we'll give you $1 million." And they just start over again. That's it. That's how it works.
Sorry about that, Ben. I think we have to end because my computer is freezing now. So,
all right. So if you need me and you go back on later, give me a shout. It's ugly.
Yeah,
out
I'll
here.
go back on later. I'll turn this off, cool it off. We'll go back.
When you're going on and see what happens. All right.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right.
You got it.
Bye. While
Ended.
we're here, my computer is freezing, so I don't know how much longer I have to talk. Ben, he did answer your question. The computer froze. Boils down to he did a deal with Lynn Partners and he's done a reverse split. There's very little hope for Vocal stock price. There might be hope for the company. Yeah, you can't hear him because my computer froze. So I'm going to turn this off and come back on later this afternoon. This is really hot in the background here. I could probably cook an egg on it slowly, scrambled eggs. I did want to tell you, somebody asked about Logic. The stock is up today at 4.0465. What I have understood for a while, I've been talking about, is there's going to be a reverse merger. In other words, a company comes and buys Logic through the mechanism of a reverse merger, and we'll keep, I don't know, 10%, an eighth, 15%. I thought we would have heard the announcement by now, but maybe the stock price going up is an indication that an announcement or progress has happened. I don't know, but it's already Wednesday. My theory on announcements is if they're good announcements, if you don't get them out by Wednesday, maybe Thursday, usually companies wait until Monday or Tuesday of the next week. So I'm going to guess that we're waiting until next week. Yeah, I have a, oh, it's my blower. I wonder how I clean that. I do have a thing. That's interesting. Could be my blower. Yeah, I've got some air under pressure, can of air. I'll try to clean it. So now all of a sudden it's working. AMC did a preferred shares. Yeah, but that's slightly different, I guess. Look, my experience with preferred shares, you have a whole new document. It's a way of clever lawyers and clever hedge funds to come in ahead of shareholders. And the key things are in bankruptcy, they're ahead of you. In voting, they're ahead of you. And they control the asset. Lots of times preferred is about getting control as much as they can beyond the bondholders. But you have to read each one, and I'm not claiming that I'm a genius financial engineer. But it's the first thing the cocky hedge fund guys come in. Let's do it. We'll do a preferred, and all of a sudden, as a shareholder, you've lost real control over votes. All right, I'm gonna just quickly. There's Nunya, pretty ballerina. That was state of the art. I'm going to sign off. I'm going to try to clean out that fan. You're right. I don't hear the fan going on. So you're probably right, Pop-Tarts. Green has been green for GTII. It's been green for 2 days. Three straight green days. That's interesting. I'd love to have Pedro explain that. My guess is he's saying that they're no longer able to move their unsettled positions sideways, either for a small loss or a small profit, and they have a loss, and then it snowball effects as they try to cover with small losses. I don't know. I'd like to find out. Yeah, Send Ace is the place. Send them a coupon for Ace Hardware. Send them 10 of the $5 coupons. He'll get mad that I suggested that. All right, guys. It's 12 o'clock. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go take a quick lunch break, and I'll try to come back on probably closer to 2:30, 3 o'clock, since we've already been on. And thank you for joining. Again, I apologize for my 2 F-bombs yesterday. It's not appropriate, and I'll try to moderate, how much I'm on, and try to get more. I want to get more interesting content than just going over where's my dividend over and over again. Yeah. What is interesting, maybe, I guess they sold that firm. That's what the article says, but maybe they're stopping accepting short sales because of the various short bands. I don't know. Well, maybe I can take it in and get the fan replaced. I like your can-do attitude, Scott. I'll have to go to Apple and or a computer repair and get the fan replaced. I like that idea, Scott. All right, it's frozen. I'm gonna end it. All right, I like that idea, Scott, and Wickedums, and I need to delete my brain, Rondell. That'll help it. It's time for a new computer. We'll get one going. All right. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you later this afternoon.